Hello, students, and welcome to this online course, College Accounting Procedures. I am Professor Lackmeyer, and I will be your professor for the spring 2020 semester. I just wanted to take a minute to welcome you to class. I know for most of you, this is probably your first experience taking an accounting course, and that's okay. This is a beginning level course, so you're not expected to have any prior knowledge or experience in accounting. We will use some basic math, but you can use your calculator, so don't get overwhelmed or daunted by it's an accounting course. So I just wanted to take a few moments, like I said, and kind of go over the course and the expectations of the course and go over like the textbook and a few policies and things like that to hopefully help guide you along in this online course. So class does start on Tuesday, January 21st. You now have access. I try to open my courses a week early if they're online. So you now have access to all the materials. So you can get kind of familiar with the course, read over it, see what's required, ask me any questions. I will say, as far as questions answering this week, I do have a lot of meetings this week. So please don't worry if I don't respond to your questions right away. But once course starts, I'll be answering emails daily. So we are using Canvas here, campus-wide now. So we will be utilizing Canvas and Cengage now for this course. So to get started here, I have a welcome for you, and you've probably clicked on that to get to this welcome video. The next thing you'll need to do is I'm going to go into the Getting Started module as it directs you. Here you're just going to find some basic information. You'll want to read over the syllabus as well, but I've just broken down some important information, how the course is laid out, my contact information, textbook information, things of that nature. And then before you get started with any coursework, you do need to complete 2 assignments. You'll need to post your introduction, which I have a link to it here, and mine is there as well, so you can get to know me a little bit better. And then you'll need to complete the syllabus quiz. So you'll use all of this information here in the Getting Started module, as well as the syllabus, to answer those questions. So make sure you've looked over those items first before you even attempt it. It is unlimited attempts, but it must be completed by January 29th. So you need to score 100% or 20 out of 20, and that needs to be completed by January 29th. There are no late syllabus quizzes accepted. If you do not meet that deadline with the 20 out of 20, you will be administratively withdrawn from class. So just make sure you get that taken care of. You can take it anytime. It's open right now. Okay. So once you've done those things and completed everything in the Getting Started module, you'll be able to see everything else in the course. So you'll be able to have access to register for Cengage, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then you should see, I'm on Student View where it's all locked. You'll start to see all of your unit overviews. So the way the course is laid out is it is broken down into units. Most units cover 1 chapter. We cover a total of 7 chapters in this course. There is 1 unit that covers 2 chapters. So all total, we'll have 6 units in the course. In every unit, you're going to have different assignments. So we will have a discussion over every chapter. We will have homework over every chapter. You'll have adaptive learning plans, which I'll show you in a separate video about those because I don't want to make this video too long, how to complete that. And then for every unit, you'll have a unit exam. Other requirements, well, let me just open up the syllabus. We'll go over those requirements super fast. So again, read over all of this information, but I wanted to go over the important stuff, which is a breakdown of assignments. So again, over every chapter, you will have a discussion question. Your introduction counts as a discussion question. There's some more information down here in the overview that goes over how those will be graded. The one thing I want to point out is there's a due date. So that is when your initial response is due. So those, the first due date, I believe, is January 25th. So chapter 1, you'll respond to the question, the discussion question, with your response. Then that one will be open until January 29th, I believe, for you to respond to other classmates. So to get full credit, you'll need to post your initial response and then respond to at least 1 classmate or myself. If I try to participate in the discussion as well. So I have those 2 dates. So you'll have a due date again for the initial posting, and then you'll have an unavailable date that you'll have until that date to respond to a class meeting. So I just wanted to go over that. I do that so everyone has a chance to actually respond to someone. So those will be over every chapter. And the syllabus quiz we talked about. Adaptive study plans, again, I will talk about those in a separate video. It's a little bit longer. You will have homework over each chapter in Cengage. That adaptive study plan will also be in Cengage. You'll have one paper you'll complete towards the end of the class, which we'll talk about later. You'll have exams. You'll have 6 unit exams, but I do drop your lowest one, and that will be in Cengage. You'll have a final exam, which is required. And then there's 2 projects in Cengage that are worth up to 100 points. So again, most of the work is in Cengage. Your discussion questions and your paper that you complete will be submitted in Canvas. I do encourage you to always go through Canvas though, because I post announcements. I might post some other helpful information for you here. I try to post my lecture videos from class as well, or examples of different homework problems. So it's always good to check in Canvas. From Canvas, you'll be able to get to all of your homework assignments. Okay. So you can read through all of this. Again, I'll go through kind of the homework and adaptive study plan in a separate video. And there's the information on discussion posts. As far as late work goes, it's important to stay on task in accounting. We do build every chapter, so if you get behind in chapter 1, you won't be able to move on until you've completed chapter 1. So my biggest thing in this class is just work ahead, get to work early in the week on the chapter. So if you run into questions, you can contact me before you fall behind. So make sure if you fall a little behind, email me, call me, come see me, let's get you caught back up, okay? So just be careful, make sure you do all of your homework assignments, everything in Cengage. All of those assignments you can rework as many times as you want until you get a 100 on your homework and the adaptive study plans. So those really do help you prepare for the exam. As far as late work, I do not take discussion questions or adaptive learning quizzes late. The homework I will accept late until usually 4 days, because 20% off each day that it's late. Exams are not accepted late, and any projects or papers you do have up to 5 days to turn in late. Now again, this is the policy. However, if something major is going on, you have hospitalization, sick kids, jury duty, whatever, military leave, then just email me ahead of time. So as long as you email me before the due date, I usually will try to work with you on that. So just communicate with me, let me know if something comes up and you're falling a little bit behind, you need a few extra days, and I do my best to work with you. Okay. Again, you can read through the rest of this. It's pretty standard information. The course summary gives you a nice list of all assignments and their due dates. This is subject to change just based on the progression that we're doing in the course. But most of the time it's pretty set, especially since it's an online course, so we don't have like snow days or anything. I know, stinks. But you can probably plan on this being the due dates. If anything, I might move a due date back. It'll never be moved up, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's just going over a few little things to get you started as far as what you need to know the most about. As I mentioned, we are using Cengage in this course. So the biggest thing after you've read through the Getting Started is to start looking at registering for Cengage Now. So we will use CNow or Cengage Unlimited. The textbook information link gives you some information on that. Honestly, your best plan of action, because it's more expensive than the other way, is to purchase the 1 semester Cengage Unlimited for $120 or $119.99. That will give you access to our course and all the Cengage materials, the ebook, all the resources for the entire semester. And if you happen to be taking any other courses that use a Cengage material, book or ebook or anything, that will be covered as well. So you would only have to buy the 1 subscription. The great thing about this too is they've set it up to where if you're going on and taking financial accounting and managerial accounting, you purchase this code this first semester and it will be good for financial and managerial. So as long as you take it here at Rose State within the next year. So say you take financial accounting in fall 2020, you will not have to pay another Cengage price. The only thing is you won't have the rental option. That's only when you have this Engage Unlimited. So the unlimited version or portion will only be this semester. So read over that. And there's a video also. Please watch the video to kind of help you register. And I'll show you the link for getting started as well. The good thing is you do get a free 2-week trial access. So when I go to the homepage, to get started and get registered, you'll click See Now to Registration. That'll open up, you'll fill out some information. I encourage you to use your rader.rose.edu email just to make it easier, but you can use a personal email to get registered. If you already have used Cengage in the past, you can still use your existing account, and then it'll give you the option to start a 2-week free trial. So that will give you access to all of the resources you need for this course for the Cengage for 2 weeks. That does end at exactly 2 weeks. So be careful when you actually register for that. I kind of encourage students to wait until the 21st or even maybe a little bit later, until something's due. Maybe the 22nd or 23rd. That way you'll get 2 full weeks of coursework out of it. And in that 2 weeks, once it's up, you will need to purchase. So if you've already purchased, that's great. You can put in your license key and get started. But I always encourage students to do the 2-week free access, because those codes, once you scratch them off and enter them in, you can't return them. You can purchase the Unlimited through the bookstore as well, so you don't have to purchase it directly through Cengage. So you do have options there. Again, it does come with the ebook. So you have a link here. Once you've registered, that link will open up and you'll have access to the ebook as well. Okay. I'm going to leave student view just so I can show you Unit 1 here. So again, once you've completed all the getting started, you register for your textbook, you're ready to get started. So there's a Unit 1 overview you can read through. I have the PowerPoint here. Here's a link to your first Chapter 1 assignment, the Chapter 1 discussion. So you'll respond to that and a classmate. Chapter 1, Introduction to Accounting and Business, is the adaptive learning plan. I'll go over those with you in another video. And then you have Chapter 1 homework. These are both in Cengage, so you'll have to register before you can access those. I have a Chapter 1 exam review out here right now. Again, there may be supplemental videos that I post throughout the semester, examples I'm doing in my face-to-face class on different homework problems. So watch for that. And then your first exam through Cengage is here too. So again, Unit 2, Chapter 2, same thing. I just may have, some supplemental information out here, but it's the discussion, the adaptive learning plan, homework, and exam. Okay. When you get into Unit 3, Chapters 3 and 4, you have a little bit more because it's kind of like wrapping up the whole accounting cycle. So it'll cover Chapter 3 and 4, and you'll also have your 2 projects within that. So we'll spend quite a bit of time, as you can see, about a month on Chapters 3 and 4 together in those projects. And then we just finish out with Chapter 5, 6, and 7, same flow and everything. So again, hopefully that gives you just a basic overview of, what to expect in this course, where to go. Again, you can email me, you can message me here through Canvas at any time, and I try to respond usually within 24 hours. Sometimes if it's like the weekend or if I'm in a lot of meetings, it may be a little bit longer. But if I'm in office hours, sometimes you might hear back from me right away. So just, I encourage you to work ahead, do all of your work, email me as soon as you run into a problem. I will be posting as well. We do have an accounting tutor on campus, so I'll be posting, I think I haven't yet. Yeah. So I'll be posting her hours on here as well. So you're welcome to come up and get that free help as well. She's a fellow student. She's great. She's had several accounting courses here at Rose State. And again, just check your grades. You'll have your updated grades in Canvas at all times. Check, weekly or a couple of times a week at least for announcements. And let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you succeed this semester. And I look forward to a great semester.